Hi, good Tuesday, and welcome back, and thank you for being here on another edition of Your News Today, this one falling on the 18th day of April. It's also Tuesday, and we're also hard-pressed, as usual, to get all the news that we have into the next half hour, which will include a bid opening session, as it was officially referred to, but what was to be the regular session of the McGoffin County Fiscal Court, which was canceled. It was set for 1 o'clock, and then hours later, after being set, it was canceled in lieu of a 5 o'clock special session also set for later today. However, two magistrates showed up, as were several other people in attendance, with one local attorney shining some light on what he says is an issue with Magistrate Gary Rooster Reisner and Judge Executive Hardin trying to work their way around the law in regards to keeping Reisner as a magistrate for District 1. Those comments came towards the latter part of what was not an official meeting, with a special session still set to take place at 5 o'clock, which we have a camera at and we'll have a report for you on tomorrow. Also, two arrests after a fish and wildlife officer was on what he said routine patrol last night in a strip job area in McGoffin County. And what were those big, long, white things coming through Saggiesville earlier today? More than likely, you've seen them on the show and were very well aware after seeing them. But just in case, we'll tell you what they were, and it's a story nonetheless. We'll talk about those reports and other news and information in just a few moments, and little else tonight. Just in from the McGoffin County Health Department and our McGoffin County Local Board for Kentucky ASAP, they have their mini grant funds available again this year to community-based, public, private, or faith-based nonprofit agencies or organizations. Now, these grants are designed to enhance community prevention, intervention, treatment, law enforcement, recovery, and environmental strategies to help fill the gaps in alcohol, tobacco, and other drug prevention efforts in McGoffin County. The maximum award will be $500 per event or project. There is a $500 per event spending limitation as well. The local board application deadline is May the 4th, and awards will be announced on May the 18th. And many grant applications are available at the health department right now during normal operating hours. If you're interested, your organization is, please stop and get one. Well, not today, but as soon as time allows. Two arrests took place last night on a strip job in McGoffin County. Two people still being held in the Big Sandy jail at this hour on, I believe, a $5,000 cash bond each, facing serious drug charges. It happened after a routine patrol at the behest of a fish and wildlife officer. Officer Griffey with the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife says he was on routine patrol on the Tip Top coal mine, I believe it was last night, when he observed a vehicle sitting, still running, but parked on top of the Oakley side of the mine. He says that he pulled in to check on the subject inside, and then he also pulled in as he noticed that a female passenger might not be all right. Upon making contact, he readily observed what he said was 27-year-old Tyler Jordan to have extreme slurred or sluggish speech, glazed eyes, and unable to sit still, while his passenger also exhibited the same signs of being under the influence. The officer says that upon looking through the rear passenger window, he observed two pop cans with what appeared to be a white substance on it, and it was at that time that he requested the operator and passenger step out of the vehicle. He says that it wasn't his car and he didn't know that there was anything in it, a statement from Jordan. Griffey says that he performed field sobriety tests on Jordan and he showed well enough clues to indicate that he was definitely under the influence, and upon searching the vehicle, he found the two cans, a cell phone box with burnt marijuana cigarettes in it, other drug paraphernalia, other residue as well. And he also seized drugs from underneath the passenger seat of the vehicle, some 3.5 pills, a Suboxone strip, and a clear baggie with a crystal substance. He also notes of the passenger identified as a 22-year-old Terry Horton that he noticed her fidgeting and moving about as though she was trying to hide something, possibly in her seat or between her legs, and that after searching the vehicle he found 3 needles, a small metal container as well under her seat that had some 4.5 pills and a Suboxone strip in it as well. He also found what appeared to be marijuana seeds in a clear baggie inside her purse. Both were booked on several serious charges. The female on possession of a controlled substance in the first, and in the third degree, 2 charges, possession of paraphernalia and public intoxication, while Jordan was charged with driving on a DUI suspended license, failure to surrender his operator's license, and operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol or drugs, third offense, with also charges of possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of a controlled substance in the first degree, and possession of marijuana. And again, both were still being held on a $5,000 cash bond as of airtime. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. Now for coverage of what was not a regular session or meeting of the Magoffin County Fiscal Court at all earlier today. There was some business conducted, however, no action could be taken. For the second time in 2 months, the regular session of the Magoffin County Fiscal Court has been canceled, with a special session being called in its place. Last month, when the judge's office canceled the regular session, we were notified by Magistrates Buck LeMaster and Matt Wireman that they were still going to be there at the designated time for that regular session meeting. And just as the time came for the meeting to begin, Judge Harden, as we reported, came in saying that his schedule had been cleared and the conflict had been resolved, and he was able to attend the meeting after all, and the meeting went on as scheduled or planned. Today it was somewhat of the same situation. And today it was a somewhat similar situation, with again Magistrates Wireman and LeMaster notifying me that they were going to be there at the set time for the regular session meeting to conduct business for the good of the county. This after, in the matter of a few hours on yesterday, the judge's office first sent out notification of the 1 o'clock regular session meeting set for today, and then soon thereafter canceled that 1 o'clock regular session, and then set a 5 o'clock special session meeting to be held later this afternoon. The magistrates were there, as well as County Attorney Greg Allen, some other county officials, and several people in the audience, as Treasurer Kyla Keaton announced that, again, Judge Harden had a scheduling conflict and couldn't make it to today's regular session meeting.
All right. Due to an obligation that the judge could not change, he will not be here today. So there will not be a regular held meeting. There will be a meeting this evening at 5 o'clock that was announced yesterday within the proper time limits. We are going to go ahead with the bid openings that was to be at 1 o'clock.
Before we do that, I'd like to make a statement for the record. We are here in compliance with KRS 67.090 subsection 2, which states the fiscal court shall hold a regular term each month. We shall continue until the business of the court is completed.
From there was some question from audience members as to whether or not their comments could be heard today, whether or not they would be on record, and whether or not they could be made later on this evening at the 5 o'clock special session, which is still expected to take place. First off, Aggie and Theodore Spradlin said they were there to be heard on behalf of what they said were most of the residents on Meadows Branch Road or Amos Perkins Road, wanting clarification that their road, indeed, as it always has been, is titled or listed as Meadows Branch and not Amos Perkins Road. They were told by Mike Wilson that the road had been renamed to Amos Perkins Road about 3 or 4 years ago, after which Wilson was asked by Magistrate Wireman to research the minutes of that particular meeting when that decision was made so they could report back to the Spradlins. Moving on, while it was not an official meeting, they were able to go on with opening of some bids. First, the Industrial Park Sewer Project, of which there were 5 bids. The high bid, $2.8 million from Norris Brothers Contracting, while the lowest bid went to a local company, L&L Excavation, owned by Brad Lyons, which came in at $1,517,000, just under the next bid of $1,529,000 submitted by Boca Enterprises. There were also some bids open for blacktopping of Gifford and Jellicoe roads, with Mountain Enterprise submitting a total bid of $182,000. and Hinkle Contracting submitting a total bid of $170,000. And lastly, local resident and local attorney Josh Puckett asked if public comments would be allowed during the special meeting later at 5, or if he would need to make his comments or statement before what was there of the court this afternoon. asking what he believes is on the minds of many about Gary Rooster Reisner holding on to his position as magistrate for District 1 while in federal prison, and how Puckett says it's obvious that Judge Hardin is attempting to work around the law that says any magistrate that misses 2 consecutive regular set meetings can be removed from office.
Okay, this wasn't a meeting, it was just a bid opening.
Okay.
Okay, the special meeting then will be held at 5 o'clock.
So we won't be able to make comments and questions?
You can make a comment, but they can't take any action on it.
Okay.
You have to be on the agenda for a special meeting.
It concerns the county judge who, not just in my opinion, but many people in the county, he took an oath of office to fulfill the needs of that office. Since the magistrate from District 1 has went to jail, he has not completed the requirements of that office. He's continuously canceled regular call meetings. He is doing special meetings because the statute does allow for the court to start impeachment process on the District 1 magistrate if he doesn't come to the regular meetings. So it's my opinion that that's the purpose behind calling the regular meetings off and doing special call meetings. At this point, the county judge is not showing up to meetings at all. And that's the basic principle of the office, is to run the county, be at the meetings, do the things that people of the county need. When he took this job, he took the responsibility of being here running this county. He keeps resetting the needs of the county for his personal needs, for his private practice, for his work at the hospital, and those other things, which I understand need to be done, but those things need to be rescheduled around the office that he ran for and was given. My comments are going unheeded because we don't have a meeting right now. Nobody's been able to give comments. Last month when we came to the meeting, we showed up at a regular call meeting. He came in a few minutes late, out of breath, because he came here when he hadn't planned on, because we were here for the meeting. At this point, something needs to be done. And speaking of something needs to be done, the magistrate for District 1 position, we don't have a magistrate in District 1. I know on paperwork we do, but I can't contact him. Nobody in District 1 can. At some point, this court needs to send a letter in its official capacity to Mr. Reisner asking what his intents are. If he plans on keeping his position, then we can, as a county or the court here, can start the process of having impeachment done. If he intends to resign, which it's my understanding that he's already turned in his resignation paperwork and that just hasn't made it to Frankfurt. But if he intends to resign, then that needs to be done so that the people of District 1 can be represented. So that's all I've got to say on it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Puckett. This is over until 5 o'clock.
Other local headlines. Unless you saw it on a brief trip through downtown Sagersville earlier today, this is the only place you're going to see it happening. After some months of weather and other logistics and details of kind of putting the project off, the city today was able to finally move the 2 storm shelters that it bought from Joy Global before they closed their doors and shuttered the plant, with the new plant's owners, Logan Corporation, gladly volunteering to help out, saving the city a lot of money and a lot of time, with one going to its permanent site and the other one being moved today as well, but to a temporary location.
Well, it only made sense to do this for the city because they were actually, one of them was going to be on our way in a few weeks because we're putting in a bunch of overhead doors, and it was sitting right in front of where we're going to be putting the doors in for some of our expansion, and it only made sense to help out.
And Logan volunteering their time, their truck, their heavy-duty forklifts, and their expertise in loading such a large piece of equipment, if you will, works out for the city as it saves them thousands of dollars and gets a project well underway and much closer to completion.
Yeah, we sure have. We've been trying to get them off there ever since Joy Global left, and now we have got them moved off of Logan. We want to appreciate they've done a great job in helping us move them and really helped us out. They was looking at probably $2,000 to $3,000 to get them moved where we wanted to put them at in our initial estimates. So it saved us a lot of money, and it's a good service for the community, and that's what we're glad to have Logan here, and we're glad to get them here. Now that they're here, they're helping with the community, and that's what we're glad to see.
The first one was moved 2 feet away from what will be its permanent location in Dixie, set just next to where the concrete pad will be poured to anchor it down to the pad and the earth to make it stable and safe. while the other was taken to a nearby location in the Ramey Park, where it's just going to be kept there for a brief period of time until a permanent and more suitable location can be found.
Well, hopefully the next couple of weeks get started on the one behind the Baptist church. It's going there permanently. We've already signed a lease with with the church, and they're going to let us put it there, and it's a great location for that. We're still looking for a location for the other one, and quick as we get find some place to put it, we'll put it in, because we're not going to wait around. We're just looking for a good place to put it, good location in the city.
And while we had him there, we asked Randy Reisner of Logan Corporation, as we do any chance we get, and they're always willing to oblige, just how things are going this week or this month, with his reply being that they've got months of work already on the books, and they're still adding new employees as the work comes in.
Absolutely. Just a couple weeks ago, we had a dealership in North Carolina that gave us an order for an entire month's worth of production. And that doesn't come around too often, but we took it, and that's what's causing all this expansion and build-up. We've got a new piece of machinery that's coming in at the end of the month, and we'll get it hooked up, and that will help us out tremendously. Right now, hard book orders we've got through August. So, I mean, everything's going as planned and really better than expected. We had 2 start this week, and I've got another guy probably start the 1st of next week, and it's just a slow process, but it's something that we have continued to grow ever since we moved in, and we're probably up about 15 employees since we moved in.
Before we get to your weather forecast and an outlook on prom that is not favoring festivities here in McGoffin County today, we're still a few days away. Here's a few reminders and announcements on tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau Community Calendar. It's time, if your child is going to be 3 or 4 by the 1st of this August, to give your child a head start. McGoffin County Head Start now taking applications, I think 8 to 3 every Monday through Friday, or you can call the Head Start office located behind the McGoffin Board of Ed on Route 7, 349-3488. And Head Start applications aren't the only ones being taken this week. South McGoffin Elementary and North McGoffin Elementary have both advised me that they're taking kindergarten registration this week as well. That's right, both schools, if your child is going to be 5 on or before August the 1st, they're eligible for kindergarten. And South McGoffin and North McGoffin would love to have you register them with them at their respective schools through this Friday for kindergarten registration in McGoffin County. Knickerbockers will be at the Mount Sinai Church. It's not until May the 5th and 6th, but this fundraiser is something you can find out more about now if you want to call Rita at 349-2835. But mark it down, Knickerbockers, the ever-popular photography company at Mount Sinai Church, right in downtown Sagersville, May the 5th and 6th. And a few announcements for a few more days from now, so we can hold them, and that will give me just a brief reminder, time for a reminder, that if you have an announcement, birthday, anniversary, like you just heard, any way on your screen that you can see fit to get it to us, we'll tell everybody about it. And that includes dropping it off here at the studio on East Maple, just above the Sagersville Post Office. Tell me, we'll tell everyone about it. Turning to funeral service announcements, a reminder about services to be held tomorrow in honor of 71-year-old Elva Dean Minix of Sagersville, who passed away on the 15th but survived by her husband Ronald, as well as a son Vince and daughters Rhonda Minix, Peggy Trimble, and Katie Howard. Visitation will continue this evening and up until services that start tomorrow morning in her honor. Visitation and services from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Burial follows at the Minix Family Cemetery at Oakley. We also have services to announce tonight in honor of 62-year-old Virgil Hall of Lacey Creek. He passed away on the 15th, on Saturday, over the course of the weekend. He survived by his wife, Linda LeMaster Hall, and a son, Tracy, and a daughter, Misty Music. Visitation will continue this evening and up until services that begin tomorrow afternoon at 2 in his honor. Visitation and services from the McGoffin County Funeral Home, and burial follows at the Browns Fork Cemetery on Lacey. And lastly tonight, 81-year-old Maggie Mae Montgomery of Hammond Fork Road passed away on Monday. She survived by a brother, Donna Montgomery, and a sister, Betty Carty. Visitation will be after 6 o'clock tomorrow, all day Thursday. Services will begin Friday afternoon at 1 in her honor. Visitation and services, though, will be from the Rock House Liberty Baptist Church. Burial will be at the Jenkins Cemetery at Rock House, while the McGoffin County Funeral Home is in charge of all the arrangements. Now, let's take care of one more item of business, or two, I guess, with a brief thanks afterwards. Your weather forecast, just before 6, and looking outside on the monitors now, it felt like and looks like it's going to rain, and for some folks it is. We've seen some scattered showers, and we're looking at some more moisture down to our south that's heading in a northeasterly fashion. That will give us a 30% chance of some showers during the overnight. They're kind of breaking apart in places, and hard to say as to who will see how much, but definitely a few light showers and possibly a few thunderstorms as well, but only a 30% shot right now, and we'll stick with that number for the rest of your Tuesday, where we'll see about 57 degrees, ultimately holding at 73 right now if you're catching the early show. Definitely cloudy skies, and I think we'll definitely see more clouds tomorrow. A little fog at the onset on your Wednesday. I can't believe it's Wednesday already. Right now, Wednesday looks like this. A chance of showers and thunderstorms possible after 10 with that patchy fog up until about 9 or so, but just mostly cloudy, a high of 76. Calm winds will start to become southwest or so, 6 miles per hour or a little more in the afternoon. A 50% chance of showers. Pretty much most of the latter morning, early afternoon, early evening as well. Those chances die down to about 20% by tomorrow night. For your Thursday, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms possible after 9 with more patchy fog in the AM. I think we'll see some sunshine Thursday with mostly sunny skies. Winds mild out of the southwest, but still a 20% chance of showers. That increases as another round possibly rolls in to a 50% chance Thursday night. Friday, that front gives us a bit of a cooler feel, and you'll certainly feel it over the course of your weekend. That front that's giving us the rain, that is, or at least good chances of it. 70 and 48 for your high and low on your Friday. A 50% chance of showers Friday night. Into your Saturday prom in McGoffin County is not looking favorable, and I'm so regretful to say that, but a chance of showers early to the tune of 50%, and then after the afternoon hours, showers are likely after 2 or 3, and a 70% chance of showers will continue throughout Saturday night, with temperatures taking a hit, 64 and 48, and I'm so sorry, prom goers, but that's the best we got right now, hoping for a little bit of a change. Sunday, more of the same high, nearly the same low, more clouds, more chances for rain. Well, that's going to wrap it up tonight, with the exception of saying this, a camera at what was to be the special session of the McGoffin County Fiscal Court coming in. We'll have that report for you tomorrow. I've got a couple of special reports that are set for tomorrow morning and the following, and the McGoffin County Board of Education later this week. We've got 3 days to work in maybe a week's worth of news, so hope to see you back here next time. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.